my heart just ain't in the right place right now. I understand everybody's frustration with the church. Now, I'm going to say this without getting emotional because, first of all, let me say God is good all the time, okay? And I don't want to ever come on this radio in a segment feel like we attack God's institution. Now, you might not like the church. I'm out of breath because I had to run there and get some water right quick. You might not like the church, like the pastor, like a lot of stuff that go on in the church because, like Bishop Walker said, it's bad people everywhere. But don't forget now, while we're attacking the church, that when Big Mama died, who was there? When you got ready to get married, who go in there and turn them lights on? And the folks in the church that don't make no money to volunteer. I done fell out. I done had church hurt too. I done fell out with my former pastor and or whatever. And we went through it. And the minute my granddaddy died, that's the first person that was there. Then he turned around and was there for me. My step-dad funeral when he died. I mean, my sister's dad, which I consider my dad. And then baptized my son and funeralized him when he died and baptized him a month before he died. And then they came out and ushered and bought food and did this and did that. And I'm going to tell you now, it's way more good than bad. Now, we don't want to discourage anybody because I'm telling you, I wouldn't have made it through. I can't tell you how many times I done got on my knees and went up to that altar and cried out to God. And God fixed I'm getting emotional because it's some good people in the church. I wonder if pastor or whoever make their money, a lot of these pastors got degrees and got their own separate business that was not built off the church. Most of these churches has a deacon board and a trustee board. And yeah, it is a business. But churches be paying light bills, water bills. I done been out with my pastor feeding the homeless. Out there giving away sandwiches in the middle of the projects where they're shooting and selling drugs, giving away lunches for the kids in the summer at my church in Faith Walker's. Pastor Walter Solomon is in Kenya right now with money that we raised all year and on the ground doing good work to make sure that the girls' school that we've been sponsoring for the past 10 years get the internet and get things that they need. It's some good folks in the church, man. And we can't ever turn away from God. Now, whatever gripes you got or whatever, if it don't work for you at that church, man, you can go to another church or just find your own relationship with God. If you don't want to go to church, that's fine. But God is real. And he woke us up this morning, and I never don't want God to punish me for using this platform to get people away from him because God gave me this to bring people closer to him. And I'm not mad at nobody for their opinion and their experience. But what I'm saying is, man, don't give up on these folks, man. Even my folks at my home church, First Baptist Kingston, I can go there anytime and feel comfortable. If I want to hear some good old-fashioned singing, and I can go right on back over there to my church at Faith Walker's, get a good word and some laugh from Pastor Kevin Bryant. I can go over to Reverend John King Church, E. Dewey Smith in Atlanta, our Greatest Travelers Rest, Dr. Davidson in Fort Lauderdale. I'm talking about people out here doing stuff and doing real ministry. You understand? Pastors, I know pastors all over the country. I just performed at a church in Detroit for a pastor's anniversary. Man, there's some good people out here doing some real work in some real community service. Pastor John P. Key built a church on the same corner that he used to sell dope on in Charlotte. And look at the things that he's doing in the community. So let's not, because that's right. If they get to fighting in the club and put your whole life at risk and you go back. We go back to other situations, but sometimes when it comes to the church, we want to act like they weren't there for you when Big Mama died. When the ushers up there, when you out there crying, your eyes out, somebody handed you some tissue. Somebody was standing there fanning you when they closed that casket now. So let's not do that. I appreciate your opinion. But man, we ain't going to turn on God. We do a praise break on this show every morning. If I don't love nothing else and nobody else on this God, because man, we'll do the segment later. It was God. It was him that walked me down that hallway when I was in that apartment by myself when they told me my son died. It was God that walked me down that hall to get me to the elevator. It was God that got me from the elevator to the car. I had to ask a Dallas police officer, hey man, how do I get to my gate? As many times I've been in Love Field Airport, that gate is simple. It's 1 through 30. Had to walk down there with me because I was so confused. And it was God that got me there safe because it was a storm flying back to Birmingham. Man, I'll never turn on God. Because he's so real, and he's been better to me than I've been to myself. You understand? I am closer to him now than I ever been. I have seen his goodness through these trials and tribulations. Then he let me look at other folks that's going through stuff. He give me some perspectives and some windows to look out of. Man, God is real. Can't nobody teach you this stuff. He rocked me to sleep every single night. Keep me with an appetite. Keep me living. Other folks that went through stuff. But let's not turn our back on the church. Find another church if that church don't work out for you. But these ministers out here making a hard push for God. And they out here doing some great and wonderful things out here in the community. So I love you. God bless you. We got Jeff Johnson coming up next. Song Stay in Your Head All Day. Up next, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show, baby.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to